The Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats is a beloved children's book, so let's take it and turn it into a music lesson. If you're new around here, hi, my name is Becca. I'm an elementary music teacher, and I do a lot of book-based lessons, although full disclosure, we had a lot of them happening, and then I just like completely ran out of ideas. So I've still been reading books with my kiddos, and I've been using the ones that I have already shared with you, but I haven't come up with any new ones. And I don't know what it is about the last couple weeks, but I have come up with many new book-based lessons. So I am excited to share the things that we are doing with you. But today we're talking about The Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats. This book is super cute, wonderful. It was also one of the first books to feature an African-American child as the main character that was not like specifically about African-American things. It's just a normal book. And so that makes it like extra important in the literary world, and it's just a beloved children's book. So first of all, read the story, of course, and then after you go through the story, there's a lot of these different parts that you can take out and turn into movements. So we read through the story, and then we went through and did the different movements that Peter did. So we walked with our toes pointing out, walked with our toes pointing in, we slid our feet, or dragged, I think it says, yeah, he dragged his feet slowly, so we tried that. We pretended to hit a tree with a stick. We just kind of went through and like acted out the whole thing. Had a snowball fight with the older kids, and that was really fun. I also enjoy putting this to the song Winter by Vivaldi. There are 3 movements, but the first one is my favorite, especially with the little kids because they love it. It's just got a lot going on. So we did the movements along with that. Now I do have a whole Google Slides lesson that goes along with this. You do not need it in order to do the lesson, but if you have it, it's a little bit extra, and so it goes through all of those different movement activities, and it also has a video of Vivaldi's Winter, the first movement, with the different movement actions that they can do, so they kind of like match up with the music. Now after they're all nice and worn out, then we start talking a little bit about rhythm. Now my first graders have not learned rhythm, so this is an entirely iconic notation activity as like a pre-reading activity. If your kiddos already know rhythm, you can totally do it that way, that's fine too. But what we do is we isolate 2 different words. So we have walk walk, are his little footsteps, and then drag for when he's dragging his feet. And so I make a couple of different patterns with like little footsteps and then like a little dragging mark. I'll pop it up on the screen because that makes more sense than me trying to mime it out for you. And so we try different patterns, and we also walk them. So we'll walk around the room, do, you know, walk, walk, drag, walk, walk, drag, and we'll try different ones. Then I have the kiddos come up with their own. So I like to try to do this on the slides first, and so I'll have somebody volunteer to tell me what they want to do first, and we'll do it kind of as a group together first. This gives you the opportunity to have the kids more involved, to read more of them and practice more patterns, and the kids are more engaged because they're the ones making it up. And it also shows them what we're about to do because they're about to do it on their own. So I like to start that way. Now you can also totally print these out or have different icons on the board that you can write. And so one thing that's really fun is to have them all up there and have the kids arrange them. You can hook them up with magnets, or I love having like one kid hold each of the cards, and then having another kid come and they get to arrange the kids. So there's like, you know, one holding this and one holding this, and then there's another one, so that the other student can come up and arrange them however they want. Now that does make it harder to move along with the pattern, but you know, it's all about what you want to do. Then after that, I have them either by themselves or in a group, depending on how you want to do it, do that themselves. So I love to put them in pairs, and yes, I do this with first graders. I'll put them in groups of 2 or 3, and I'll say one person makes the pattern and then everyone has to do the pattern. So for this, I use the little manipulatives out of my lesson pack. So it has the little feet and the little drags, and so I'll pretty much take half of a page and give it to each group and laminate them so that you can use them again, and you only have to print them out once. And so I'll just give them the cards in a little Ziploc bag, and they can arrange them, and they can, you know, walk around the room and do that. Then either that day or the next day, we can actually take them and glue them or draw them onto a piece of paper. So maybe after you have them try a couple different things, have them pick their favorite one and write or draw them on a piece of paper, so that you then have a whole composition, even though your kiddos don't know how to read yet, which is like the best is when you can get them, composing and, you know, actively making music before they can even read it. So that's kind of how I do it, like on day one. What I love to do, what is also really fun, is to bring it back out another day and to add melody to it. So for this, I take the same patterns and then we'll pick if it's gonna be high or low. And so we'll just put it with like a line in the middle and we'll put some on top, some on bottom. You know, if you have those magnets, you can just, where are they? You know, if I want high, high, low, then they would kind of look like this and just have them visually high and low. And we'll sing them on either walk, walk, drag, or high, high, low. So we can do walk, walk, drag, or high, high, low, depending on what they've been working on so far. And so that then we're adding the melodic activity to that. And then same thing, they can totally make them up themselves in groups and add the melody to it. And if you're really feeling fancy, you can add some instruments. So you could do this with boom whackers and give them each 2 boom whackers and they could practice, you know, doing each one. Or you can give them a glockenspiel, or a xylophone would totally work, but I like glockenspiels for group activities like this. So I would probably not use this one. I would use like my typical silver one, but I have a ton of these, which is really nice. And they're like indestructible. I'm like super old, I think. But I'll just grab a glockenspiel and I will grab some and then put little sticky notes on the 2 notes that are gonna be our high and low. So like if we're gonna be in C, then I'll put a sticky note on E and a sticky note on G. And we've already talked about which side is high and which side is low, so the students will know that. So then they can play and so on and so forth. So you can have them do that in their groups. You can have them do it whole class and practice. You can have one kid come up and make a pattern and then everybody plays it on their xylophone or glockenspiel and then, you know, switch, or however you want to do it. But there's lots of different activities, lots of different ways that you can do that to add the melody to it. And again, you can use glockenspiels, you can use xylophones, you can use boom whackers, like there's lots of different things that you can use as well. So there's lots of different ways that you can use the same thing, maybe on a different day, and talk about melody and add the highs and the lows. You can sing, you can use the boom whackers, you can use the xylophones or the glockenspiels, whatever you want. And then same thing with that. My principal likes having things in the hallways, so same kind of thing as I give them those same manipulatives and then just have them go do highs and lows, and we talk about how you can't be on the boxes on top of each other, so you have to pick one or the other. And that just makes a really good, like something they can take home to their parents and show them and be like, hey, look what I made. Or you can put it up on the walls, or you can laminate these and just have them use them and then, you know, use the manipulatives and then take them off. So that is how I'm using the snowy day in my 1st grade class. You could also do that with kindergarten. You could also do it with 2nd grade. You can add the rhythms in and compare it to the rhythms, however you want to do it. But there's a couple of ideas to get you started. I would love to hear if you have used this book before and what you've used with this book before. So let me know those things down in the comments. I will link the book as well as the product on TPT that includes the Google Slides, the YouTube video, like move along activity, and also the printables that you can get. They're all in one file, so I'll link those down below. Thanks so much for watching, and also let me know, are there books you would like to see soon in the future? Let me know in the comments, because I'm like on a book-based lesson kick. So let me know and I'll see if I can come up with something. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.